I'm going to write this best-selling book on how to be successful in real estate. And it's only going to be 2 pages. The first page is talk to 10 to 15 people every single day. Vulcan 7 is a great resource for that, by the way. They'll provide you names and numbers, but talk to 10 to 15 people every day. Page number 2 is figure out some sort of a cool happy dance to the bank. All kidding aside, you really have to find people to talk to. Start with the people that you know. If you're struggling in real estate, that is the best way to start. Start with people you know. Call everybody on this crazy little apparatus called a phone.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Vulcan 7 Coaches and Mentors, where we bring you some of the best in the industry to share with you their tips and strategies so that you can implement them in your business immediately. If you haven't caught up on our previous episodes, make sure to check them out on YouTube or listen to them on your favorite streaming platforms. Now, with that being said, today we're going to be talking about for sale by owners. And for that, I have an awesome guest, and I'm going to go ahead and bring him on, Coach Dennis Hecker. Welcome, Dennis.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yes. So for everyone that's watching that is maybe not too familiar with you, go ahead and give us a little bit about your background.
Absolutely. I've been in the real estate industry for over 34 years. More to the point, my father and my family have all been in real estate since the early 70s. I have sold tons and tons of homes using for sale by owner techniques that we're going to talk about later today. Also, I am a mastery coach with Tom Ferry for the last 9+ years.
That's awesome. A question that I love to ask all of my guests as well is that it sounds like you come from a background where there was a lot of real estate, realtors going on, but did you do anything before you became an agent yourself?
Oh gosh, yes. I don't think very few real estate agents, it's their first career. I was a metrologist for an aircraft company. I was a coach for a sports team in high school. I hung wallpaper. You name it, I probably did it.
Oh, okay, awesome. So what made you get into the real estate business, or how did that transition happen?
Mostly it was because of my family. My aunt got involved in the early 70s in Southern California and did extraordinarily well. And she convinced her brother, who's my father, to get involved in real estate in the mid 70s, 77 to be exact. And because of his success and me kind of working with him a little tiny bit when I was a teenager, believe it or not, I kind of caught the bug. And so when I was in my mid 20s, I went to school, got my license, and here I am today.
That's awesome. No, that's exciting to hear. I love to ask because everyone has a different background and a different story. But obviously, on today's episode, we're going to talk about for sale by owners. And I know that lead source, some agents love it, some agents are afraid of it. So let's get started with, why do you think agents need to go after this lead source?
Well, as you probably already heard, the acronym is the fastest source of business opportunity. And it really was for me, but there was an evolution behind it. And hopefully we'll be talking more about what it evolved into for me as a professional.
Yes. So share with us kind of how your journey was.
Well, like everybody else, I would call a for sale by owner. And one of the reasons why I did that was who wants to sell their home? Well, it was either expired listings, which I wasn't necessarily interested in, although a good viable source, or it was for sale by owners. These are the two sectors of real estate community that said, I want to sell my home. One understands the value in real estate agent relationships and commissions, and the other one maybe not so much. But I chose for sale by owners, and like everybody else, I basically asked for listings all day long from these people and wasn't horribly successful. So that evolved into something a little bit different, which was the preview appointment. I said to myself, I can talk pretty well to people. I want to get in front of more people. And I wasn't having a great amount of success the other way. So I tried the preview appointment and did fairly well. That evolved into something different because I wanted to be unique and I wanted to set myself apart from every other real estate agent that was doing the exact same thing. Either they were lying about having buyers or they were trying the direct appointment setting script, and I wanted to be different. Thus, I came up with the idea of a free marketing technique that's super simple, but it's multifaceted, and it was very well received.
That's awesome because yeah, just like you said, especially going after that lead source, you have to know how to stand out. A lot of agents, they're just talking and trying to set that appointment, and it turns off a lot of for sale by owners. So can you kind of share that strategy and what that kind of looks like, what you came up with?
Absolutely. First of all, it starts with the script. When you're on the phone with the for sale by owner, the first thing that I evolved the conversation into being was, I'm not like everybody else. So here's really the script. And if you guys want to write this down really quickly, if you know shorthand, awesome. Or stop and pause. Anyway, here's the script. Hi, my name is Dennis Hecker with Hecker Real Estate. Before you hang up, I want to let you know that I'm not calling about a listing. I want to be able to offer some free, absolutely no obligation marketing. In exchange, if I find a buyer for you, then hopefully you'll pay me a buyer side commission. That's basically the script. There was nothing more to it than that. The idea behind it was I want to get in front of them, literally in front of them, and be able to set the appointment. And if I came into it with the idea that I wasn't looking for a listing, wink, 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 maybe I was down the road, but not initially. I would tell them that I want to give you free marketing and I'd love to discuss it more with you, but I need to see your home to find out what's entailed. So I would set these appointments and then show up at the property, do my normal tour like everybody else does, write about 1,000 pages of notes, scribbling feverishly like you're supposed to, asking questions throughout the process. When are you moving? How far do you, or how long does it before you have to move? Things of that nature. Love your tile, love your curtains. Got to sprinkle everything in, writing notes, and then sitting down with them and explain the process. And here's the process. I'd like to schedule a series of open houses for you. I'll take care of all the marketing. I'll take care of all the costs associated with that. I'm going to get buyers through here because of my extraordinary marketing to get buyers into my open houses. And I'm going to do a series of these until the property gets sold or you sell it on your own, one or the other. And that's the process. And through that, I was able to, number one, gain trust because I wasn't asking for a listing and I wasn't doing a bait and switch. I didn't tell them I didn't want a listing and then ask for it. Never asked for the listing. My job was to do the open houses, build rapport, and through the open houses, maybe I find some of my own clients. Would I sell their home? Once in a blue moon. Let's just be honest. About 12% is the statistic that people see. But I was doing a series of them and I was building rapport along the way. That gave me the right to ask them these questions. So, Mr. and Mrs. for sale by owner, and I didn't call them that. I would assume that you're doing some of your own marketing to get people through the home. Yes, I am. Great. I would also imagine that some of them are coming without a realtor. They're not attached to a real estate professional because we don't want to steal anybody. That would be unethical. And they would say yes in most cases. Could I come by once every few days, gather those names and numbers of those people you have no use for, but maybe I can sell them a home? Of course. So, A, I'm doing open houses. B, I'm building rapport with people that are difficult to build rapport with sometimes. C, I've got a ready-made lead source of buyers potentially. They're coming through their property unattached. And who do you think that they're going to call in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Who are they going to call when they're tired of it and they want to hire a professional? More than likely me. And that's the whole idea behind this program. It's multifaceted and it's different and it's easy. There's nothing to it.
That's awesome. So let's say, for example, you find a for sale by owner that maybe is the property's tenant occupied, or maybe the owner lives out of state. What do you do in those cases?
Well, if the owner lives out of state, I try to find a way to get in. And I don't mean breaking in. I try to find out if they can mail me the keys, if they trust me enough, if there's a lockbox already in the property, and sometimes tenant occupied properties or second homes, as you kind of alluded to, might have a lockbox. And if I can't see it and I can't get in, maybe it's not a candidate for this program. So that's entirely possible. Now, if it's tenant occupied, then I have to coordinate with the tenant. I'm certain by this point they already know the property is for sale in some manner, and I try to coordinate with the tenant, and maybe I can convince them to buy it, or maybe I can convince them to move out and buy something else. Why make the landlord rich? I mean, there's all kinds of ways to go about it.
Yes.
So,
There's a lot of different ways to get creative with it
yes,
once you are familiar with, how to take things and what directions to go in. That's
absolutely.
awesome. Yes. So obviously, you've been doing this for a really long time and you're very successful with it. Typically, what do you see from the moment that you kind of initiate the conversations with the for sale by owner? How long does it typically take for them to say, you know what, Dennis, we'd rather just hire you to sell the.
It's on average about 3 weeks, ballpark, give or take a few days. That's kind of the statistics that I've been looking at. Is it's been about 3 weeks. I've also noticed, I keep pretty good records, that about 25 to 30% of the for sale by owners that I engage with and they allow me to do open houses will eventually hire me. So it's pretty big. So my job is to be in front of as many of these people so that 25 to 30% represents something substantial, right? 25% of one is not much of a listing, but 25% of 100 as an example would be quite a bit. So it's about volume.
Yes. So is there a certain amount of for sale by owner appointments and previews that you try to schedule every week?
As many as possible, right?
Okay.
As many as possible. I my business is dictated. My business was dictated. I am a full-time coach and brokerage owner at the moment. But when I was in heavy production, my job was to set as many appointments as possible. That was my only job, and this was one of the ways I did that, in addition to other things.
That's awesome. So for an agent that right now maybe hasn't gone after for sale by owners, maybe they haven't been consistent with it. What would be the first thing that they need to start either practicing or doing to get comfortable with, executing this?
If you're going to use this method, I gave you the script in a sense. I would practice, and I would find role play partners, your peers. If you're part of the coaching body, Tom Ferry is who I coach with. We've got technology to help you role play by yourself, in essence, with AI technology. If you want to know more about that, let me know. But it's imperative that you practice that script and then understand what the objections might be. If you go into this prepared, knowing what they're going to say in terms of an objection, and you practice handling that objection, it becomes a lot easier. And then the other thing that's really important, you have to understand that it's never, ever 100% success. There's always going to be failure involved with everything that you do as a real estate agent. The key is you learn from the failures, you grow from the failures, and you keep on working in terms of volume. The more people you reach out to, even if you're going to have 80% failure rate, that 20% success rate, if you increase the number of people, will be a substantial number. So practice the scripts, practice the objection handling techniques, and then get on the phones and call those people.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure that someone watching this is probably asking themselves, and I think you already answered it, but if you want to just one more time, are the sellers signing anything when they give you the opportunity to go and do the open house, or what does that conversation sound like? Because I'm sure maybe you hear where they tell you, "Well, we're not going to sign anything. We're not looking to hire an agent." So
Sure,
tell us
sure.
about that.
So number one, first and foremost, this is being broadcast all over the country. And so you need to check with your broker about local and state laws. That's imperative. Some states require a listing agreement to do this. Others don't. Some would require a irrevocable commission agreement. That's what we call it here in Nevada. Others may not. Check with your broker about what is needed for your brokerage and state requirements. That's really important. But there's nothing wrong in most cases with signing a one-day listing agreement every time you do one of these open houses, which would include a commission agreement, right? So, that might be a tactic. But again, check with your broker. That's really important. I don't want to go state by state, and
Of course.
that would
Yes.
be irresponsible.
Yes, yes. No, well, I'm glad that you cleared that up because I'm sure that maybe some agents like, wait, do I have to do anything? It sounds like very easy. And, if Dennis is having success, like I need to go do it like this weekend type of thing.
You could actually, but check with your broker about
Yes.
legalities.
Yes. So tell us a little bit more about the coaching that you do, the agents that you train in case anybody that's watching might be interested in coaching with you.
Absolutely. First of all, if you want to know more information above and beyond what I'll tell you in the next few seconds, go to the website you see beneath my name, and it has everything. It's all about coaching and how to get in and what it costs and all that good stuff. But in essence, if you want a free, absolutely no obligation, no, you're not a for sale by owner, coaching assessment or a coaching session, I'm very happy to do one for you absolutely free, just so you understand how it works and what's involved. Again, I've been coaching for over 9 years. Currently, I'm coaching about 35 agents. I coach people that are brand new. I coach people that are highly trained and experienced, everything in between. Teams, I coach brokerages, brokers, managers, you name it. And the goal is being able to achieve your greatness, whatever that happens to be for you.
So, as we wrap up, what would you say are three things that agents need to start doing right now if they want to have a successful 2025?
Absolutely. Number one, it starts with your dedication to finding people to talk to. I always kid around about I'm going to write this best-selling book on how to be successful in real estate, and it's only going to be 2 pages. The first page is talk to 10 to 15 people every single day. Vulcan 7 is a great resource for that, by the way. They'll provide you names and numbers, but talk to 10 to 15 people every day. Page number 2 is figure out some sort of a cool happy dance to the bank. But all kidding aside, but I was serious, all kidding aside, you really have to find people to talk to. Start with the people that you know. If you're struggling in real estate, that is the best way to start. Start with people you know. Call everybody on this crazy little apparatus called a phone. We all have a lot of contacts. Ask them for the business. Don't be afraid. Number 2, start using the for sale by owner technique. They're out there all the time. Highly recommend that. And number 3, you got to be patient and you got to be diligent. Those are 2 really important qualities of a great real estate agent: is being patient, knowing that the results are going to come as long as you put in the work and you talk to enough people. That's my advice.
Awesome, Dennis. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. We're going to make sure to put all of your links below. And for everyone that's watching this, you're going to have to watch it maybe 2 to 3 times and write down, the script and everything that you mentioned on the process. But yeah, once again, thank you so much for doing this.
Absolutely my pleasure. It was a lot of fun.
Yes. All right. And for everyone that's watching, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.